Yeah.
We did it.
Welcome.
Look at the bond we've
We
created.
have created a bond of compassion.
A bond of compassion.
Yesod. Today we are looking at Yesod of Tiferet. So yes, bonding and foundation of compassion. A foundation. We are still week 3. This is day 6. And a little bit of words from Chabad.org. For compassion to be fully realized, it needs bonding. Yes, because how else would you do something for someone? Like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, we talked about the anonymous giving and something like that.
But even anonymous giving creates a bond.
Yeah, like, I still remember, like, this event 8 years ago where this person, like, paid for me at a drive-thru. And so, I'll even though I don't know who that person is or what they look like or whatever, like, I still feel connected to them.
Exactly. There's
in
that
my,
bond there.
like, memories.
And I'm sure that they still feel connected to the action of giving, even though they never know who they gave to.
Yeah.
So while it was anonymous and they didn't get to take any credit, and you didn't have the privilege of knowing who it was, you still got to receive part of what is the fruit of that bond.
Yeah, so it's like, is it possible to show compassion to anyone without making a bond? Because, like, even if you were to hold a door open for someone, they might remember it. Or something simple like a thank you card. I don't know. Or anything, if it is an established friend, anything further that you do for them just continues to deepen the friendship, unless you do something horrible and like, break it off.
But even that is a bond.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, I don't know, turned from blue to red or something like that. Like,
okay.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
If it was something bad. A bond that continues to live on, like my memory. That is the most gratifying result of true compassion. Do you bond with the one you have compassion for, or do you remain apart? I don't know. I do sometimes hold myself apart. Like, sometimes, like, I would just get, like, I don't know, in college or something, or even certain times today where it's like I might do something nice for someone, hold the door open, and I really don't want them to talk to me. I'm like, okay, I did one nice thing for you, please go away now. Like
this is enough of a bond. Please stop.
I know. Or like, if somebody was to ask me a question I hate being asked questions at gas stations, and when I'm just filling up my car and someone, like, asks the time or something, I'm afraid of them coming on to me, and so it's like, okay, I answered the time, now you can go away. Like, please go away. And, like, I don't know how to make them go away other than, like, starting to just give one-word answers. That's, like, the standard, like, in-person ghosting that you can do.
In-person ghosting is one-word answer. Awesome. The things you learned during the Omer.
Yeah, like, I don't know. So it does depend on, like, for certain strangers, I might show them compassion, and I don't really want to form a bond with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so one of the things that I have been complimented on is, which may not actually be such a good thing, but it's my ability to show compassion without getting sucked into the emotion of the thing. So when people pass, or when people are going through something that's really traumatic and really difficult, I'm able to hold space for them, and I don't get overwhelmed by their emotion of the thing. It doesn't mean I don't create a bond with them. I do create a bond with them, but I recognize that my job in that moment is to hold space for them and to not have it overwhelm me. So I'm able to walk people through really difficult things because I'm able to stay sort of apart from it. Not in a way that lacks empathy, but in a way that stops me from becoming the victim of the situation, if that makes sense. So I don't know that I know how to give compassionately without forming a bond, but I do know how to stay apart from it enough that I'm not overtaking the situation. So I'm not, like, making it about me.
In the middle of that answer. That makes me think of something that I read once, or someone talked about, where it's like this person was a cancer patient, and like various people in their family, when they would talk to that person, they felt like more the victim and angry and stuff like that, more than the cancer patient, where they're like, my sister is going through cancer, I'm a poor soul. And it's like, but you're not the one that's suffering. And
right, you're not the one
but
actually
they would turn it into themselves or about themselves.
That happens a lot in the chronic illness community too, is the person who is not dealing with the chronic illness becomes like the victim of the situation. It's a lot of where, like, specifically like autism communities, like autism parents, they get a lot of flack for making themselves the victim, and not their child who is dealing with autism. But I see that too. Like, there needs to be compassion for that experience too.
Yeah, like that is hard, and not many people would have to go through that. Like, your relative has cancer and you're really close to them, or your kid has autism and you don't know what to do, so yeah, it is a little bit odd.
But you need to be able to hold more compassion for the person who's actually dealing with something, like dealing with the social stigma of autism and the inability to communicate, or dealing with the physical pain and the mental pain of having a chronic degenerative illness like cancer.
Yeah, so I don't know. Otherwise, if it's friends and stuff, or people that I want to know, then I do bond with them through compassion.
Yeah, bonding.
Does your interaction achieve anything beyond a single act of sympathy? Only if I want it. Again, yeah, only if I choose for it too. Some people I purposefully don't want to get to know. I keep them at arm's length, and even if they are people like in college, I saw like in the French horn studio, the same people all the time, but certain people I just didn't care about, and I didn't want to be friends with them, and so it's like if I was to do something nice for that person, and then do something nice again, like the next week or something, I didn't want it to lead to something. It's just like, you happened to be here, I had to do it, like I needed to help you, but please don't think anything of it. Like, I don't know, like that kind of thing. I don't know, but that's just myself or whatever, where I'm like, this person's not... I like, again, like I've talked about, like I'm learning how to like all kinds of people, or at least be able to interact with other people. But that still doesn't mean I want to be friends with everybody. Because if I can see that we don't have much in common or something like that, then I don't want to know you. I don't understand how to do stuff with people if they don't have common interests with me. I know some people are like, I have friends that, like, I love video games and they hate video games, or like I like being active and they hate being active, but somehow we're still friends. And it's like, okay, what do you ever do together though? How do you do it? For me, that is how I build friendships, is doing stuff with people.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sort of the flip side of that, in that, like, I have friends with whom I vehemently disagree on, like, many things. But there's always something I can find to do with them. Like, as long as there's one thing that we can find that we, like, have in common, we do well.
Oh.
But...
See, I don't like that.
That's fine.
You don't have to. I need friends that do lots of things. I don't want, like, these are my basketball friends. These are my D&D friends, or whatever. You
need the friend that can.
I want the friend that does all the things with me.
I get that.
That they'll do basketball and D&D, something like that.
I get that. Yeah, I have some friends who are like that. No, I was saying that I have a friend who has friends that need to do, like, all of the things with them. And that friend and I, like, they've gained a lot of interests that I'm not, like, part of. And that I'm not really interested in. And so, like, our friendship has somewhat devolved, in the sense that, like, they no longer reach out to me in the same way because they have all of the other things that they need and want to do, which is totally fine. Friends grow apart. That's totally cool. So I get that side of the coin. Like, I get that.
Yeah. The idea, for me, it's just, the idea of friends versus acquaintances. It's like, they're not a true friend unless I can do lots of stuff with them.
Okay, valid.
And, like, trust and talk to them. I don't know. Exercise for the day. Ensure that something eternal is built as a result of your compassion. I don't know how you can ensure that.
How do you ensure, like, eternal? What is eternity? That's what I'm trying to say. Ensure eternity.
Well, maybe, like, if you help out with somebody.
You plant a tree together.
Yeah, but if we go to some simple thing, like, again, holding the door open, I guess you could talk to them more rather than just hold the door, be like, nice dress, or something. And that's not really something eternal, but at least might get you talking to them.
I think, because this is something that I do with my students, is compliment them on something and then say, remember this. I want you to remember this when you're feeling X, Y, and Z. Remember that somebody told you this. And that's something I do with my students a lot, because my students will do, like, an amazing job, and I'll be like, I just want you to, like, stay in this moment for a little bit, and I want you to remember what this feels like.
See, that makes sense, though, because you already know them, but if you were to do that to a random stranger...
No, that's strange. That's weird. Like, don't do that. Like, I open the door for you. Remember this.
Or be like, I want you to remember that I complimented you on your dress, and they're going to look at you really weird. But so it's like, I don't know.
No.
The only way I can think of ensuring something eternal is built is with someone you already somewhat know.
Yeah, I would do that. I would stick with somebody you already know for this activity.
Yeah, maybe if you want, with just the simple door holding for a stranger, just make the extra step of complimenting them on something, or at least saying, have a good day, or something like that. I could try that next time, too.
I'll hold the door open and say, have a good day.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, remember this.
Yeah. You just say it in another language and so they won't know. I don't know. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.